What's up, everybody? So welcome back to my channel, Green Man Grows 7. I'm Sean Knight, and today, look at this beauty right here. The Philodendron Imperial Green. This is one of my favorite plants. Look at that wingspan. I mean, look at that. This is still just a baby, and so I've had this for a little while now, and it has grown substantially. And so as a result, I just wanted to, and you see I'm doing a little something different. So I'm sitting on the floor. I've been doing plant chores all morning. And so as a result, I said, well, let me film this video and talk about this beauty right here, the Philodendron Imperial Green. And so there's also a Philodendron Imperial Red. So the care tips are the same for both. So if you have a red and you haven't considered the Philodendron Imperial Green, or if you've never seen either and you happen to come upon the other, they're the same plant, just one has the petioles, the stems are red, the leaves have slightly a different color, and the underneath happens to be red. And so there you go. And these plants are some of the most beautiful plants that you can get. What I like about the philodendron is that this plant does not crawl. You have the two categories. I've talked about this before on my channel. You have the two categories of the crawlers, and you have those that climb. And so this is neither. This just will continue to grow. And as it grows, it will have different layers. As you see here, different layers of the leaves that will continue to grow out. And so this baby right here will get quite big. And so if you happen to purchase one of these, or if you're getting one, if you buy it as a full-grown plant, you'll see that in the nursery where it's just big like this. It's just taking up massive room. So when you come home, you have to have the room for it. Or if you get it smaller, like when I got this, it was a baby and it's grown to this size, but it's going to just continue to grow. And as a result, it's going to need enough space so that it can continue to do that wingspan. So each layer, the underneath, and if you can see, there's just different leaves that's just continue to grow, and it will grow up and then it will grow out. What I like about these plants are, if you are a person who doesn't have a lot of plants in your collection and you don't want a lot of plants, but you want something to be a focus point, this is a great plant to do that. You can have this on the floor, so as it grows, it's just taking up room. You walk in the room, it's a focus point. Or you can put it on a table at this size, let it grow out, it's a focus point. So yeah, these plants love a lot of indirect light. And even though the foliage is dark green, they still don't want to be in direct light. You can burn the leaves and then the plant won't survive. They love high indirect light. And so as a result, that's one of the things that keeps the foliage dark green, but also allows the plant to continue to grow out in that way. The water requirements, I always say this, it's different based on where you live, it's different based on the climate, it's different based on if in the wintertime you have your heat on, it's different, so you just have to watch the water requirements. But chunky soil, this is an aeroid, and so as a result, it loves to have water to go through. It catches what it needs and drain out. It does not like to sit in water. And so another thing about this plant is that I have to be very strategic in the way that I water it. If you're not doing a bottom watering, where you put the plant in a bowl and let it absorb what it needs. If you're doing top watering, you have to be very careful, because this plant does not like to have its leaves continually wet. So if you miss this plant and you leave a lot of water on it, it can cause fungus. This plant can get the black spots on it, which indicate that it has the fungus on it, and then it can spread from the leaf to the petiole, the stem, and then just take over the whole plant. The unfortunate thing about that is if you don't catch it in time, not only will you lose your plant, it can spread to your other plants. And so this is one of the things, it's not one of those plants that's plagued heavily with pests, with bugs, but water is the thing that can take this plant out. So that's just something to be mindful of. But I love this plant. When I first saw it, I did not know it was a philodendron. I just looked at it for the beauty of how dark the foliage was and how hardy it is. And if you can see that, look how hardy that stem is and that petiole, that it's just, and then the chunkiness of here. And so that's just something that captured me about this plant. It is absolutely, and I say this about all plants, but every plant that I have in my collection, I feel the same way, because that's what captured me, that I wanted to purchase it and have it in my collection and grow it in my home, is that they're captivating. Just to look at how beautiful that is, and to look at how beautiful the green is, how dark it is, and how it's just a staple. It speaks without saying anything, just being itself, just having its presence, it speaks. And it's been a great joy to have this plant in my collection, in my home, and watch it grow. I don't know if you guys can see that, but a new leaf is coming out. And so even though we are at the end of summer, and oftentimes, plant enthusiasts and botanists will tell you that growing season is only from this time to this time. Your plant will tell you in growing season. If your plant is continuing to put out new leaves, if your plant is continuing to grow in such a way, it's still growing season for that plant. And so, you have to continue to fertilize and give the plant what it needs, because if you don't, if you'll pull back when you see active growing with nutrients, then you're not helping that new leaf to come through in the way that it can. But I just wanted to come and show this philodendron because it's a different philodendron. It's something that, as I stated, when I purchased this plant, I did not know what it was, because in the nursery where I got it, it didn't have a name on it. It only had the amount that they were requiring or requesting for the plant. But this is just something that has captured me and allows me to just love on it and watch it grow. And this is just a wonderful plant. And so if you're considering the Philodendron Imperial Green, I say go for it. It's an easy plant. It doesn't require a lot of fussiness. It's a plant that can just, as I say, be a staple. You can put it on your desk. You can put it in your library. You can put it in your extra bedroom. You can put it in a hallway. As long as you have it in an area where it gets enough indirect bright sunlight, then the plant will do fine. But yeah, the Imperial Green Philodendron. If you have not, I ask that you would subscribe. Hit that like button so that you get the notifications when I upload a new plant baby, and give a little more information about it. Peace.